Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, Casing Tuesday day, and we are just about a week away from having a new catalog. And also, we are a week away. We have only 1 week left of the old catalog, and a lot of products in that catalog that are retiring are on sale. Plus, there will be some price increases next week. So, if you still need to stock up on cardstock, now is an excellent time because of the prices will be lower this week than they will be next week. But it's also time to start sharing some of the new products coming up in the catalog. So today I thought I would take a product, the Rainbow of Happiness bundle, and pair it with some of our new in colors. So I'm excited to showcase those live for the first time. And the new in colors are just really vibrant and fun. If you like bold, bright colors, you will love these. So I hope you will enjoy today's card. And as always, I love to chat with you. So leave me a comment and I will talk to you after I've shown you my card for today. And so let's have a look and see what today's card is. Let's see, it is right here. So I love today's card because it will be so easy to put together. I love how those stripes in the background really pop things out. And look at this sample. It actually has a very easily stamped image. It's not even colored. So you can go very plain with your focal point and the colors in the background just kind of pop that. Or you can just really, you could go with neutral stripes and then have a very vibrant foreground. Or you can do what I did, and I do both, lots of colors. So I'll show you my card in just a moment. And here is the sketch. Here it is. So it just kind of shows you what the different measurements are for the original card, and you can take those measurements and just tweak them a little bit and make them your own. So I tweaked my measurements just a little bit just to make it a little easier for myself, but to fit what I wanted to do. But use this as a guide. You can kind of see, especially if you're new, what I would do is cut all of these pieces out of just regular computer paper and see how they come together, and then see how you can use them to create your own card, and then you can tweak them a little bit if you need to. All right, we have some people joining us. Good morning, good morning. I'm going to jump in and share my other camera with you, and let's get started on making my card for today. Actually, I made 2 cards. So let's share with you the first card. This is the one I originally made with the Rainbow of Happiness bundle plus the new colors. Aren't they vibrant and fun? We've got Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis, Tahitian Tide. This is the one I always forget. Let me look it up. It is Sweet Sorbet, and then finally Parakeet Party. And so I incorporated those in the rainbow and just kind of made it a really fun card. So this card was stamped with the ink pads. And look at these new wonderful ink pads. They just look so pretty. Just love stamping with them. And then this card here, I wanted to make a card so I could show the Stampin' Blends. So I used the, I have to look this one up, Happiness Abounds bundle. And I will update my supply list once the catalog goes live. Right now I only have the Rainbow of Happiness on there. And I don't have the new in colors yet on my supply list because they don't link to anything yet. So I'll have to go back afterwards and update this blog post so you have direct links into the store for all of these colors. But look at this beautiful paper. Look at this. I used one side of the paper. This one I used the little subtle stripe side. And on this side, I used the little floral side. So you can see how both of them look different in their own way. And look at, these are the new Stampin' Blends. Aren't they wonderful? And I know a couple months ago, I created my own Stampin' Blends labels. And I've updated them with the new in colors. One thing I did look at other people's labels because actually I wanted the easy button. I wanted just to like use them for my own labeling purposes, but I'm kind of, wouldn't say, I'm a little persnickety. And I like all my font to be the same size. So I chose a very clear font and I made it all the same size. And these are my little labels. And you can see one of them, how they look right here. This is saffron. I haven't labeled mine all yet, but they'll either be light or dark, you know, if you have the two, and you just punch them out with a little 3/8" circle punch, and then use a little mini glue dot to attach them to the end. And I have this sheet has a double, so you can put one on both ends, or for myself, I only put it on one end, and then I save these just in case one of mine dies. Then I have a second label. So I hope you will like those. I will post those on my blog within the next week so that you can pick this up and use it for your labeling purposes and for those new colors that are coming online. Okay, let's switch gears. I think I've talked about everything, the in color products. These are just so vibrant and gorgeous. Just love them. Okay, this is the Rainbow of Happiness bundle, and I just wanted to point out this bundle will be retiring in June, but it's going to still be available for I want to say about another month, after which time it's going to be on while supplies last. It could sell out before then, but this one, if none of those things happen, it should be available all the way into May through May. Just when it gets to the end of May, this bundle will be on the retiring list. We know that because it didn't carry over into the annual catalog. It's such a fun, happy bundle, so I wanted to use it another time before it completely retires. But you can pick this up right now, and it will be available hopefully for the month of May. Okay, let's get started in making the card. And I went ahead and let me grab my, I got them across the room. Okay. I already cut up a shape using the Stitched Rectangles dies. This is the third largest die, and I cut it so it's got that little stitching on the end. It looks so pretty. And then we're going to take all the rainbow pieces in order and stamp a rainbow. I think it's easiest when you're stamping the rainbow to start with the largest one and then fill in. So we're going to take the new in colors, and I'm going to do Orchid Oasis as my biggest arc. And I'm going to omit Starry Sky because I only have 4 to complete the rainbow. So that color is going to get knocked off the rainbow scale. So I'm just going to ink up an Orchid Oasis. I'm going to center this and maybe about 1/4 of an inch from the top, 3/8. Stamp this down. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? Oh, and I have a little tip when you're using these stamps because, let me just grab a scrap piece of paper because my work surface is a little tacky. So these photopolymer stamps are quite flexible. So let me peel this off. You can actually alter the shape. So if you were just to stick this on here, you could have a really strange shape. Actually, that looks almost like more like a horseshoe. But since we want to match the arc and we want it to have its natural shape, I just kind of drop this onto like a piece of scrap paper and make sure it's kind of put into its natural shape. And then I'll pick it up on my block rather than placing it on my block, because when you're placing it, it's a little wobbly, and then it's not going to retain its natural shape, and then it might not match all the arcs. So just keep that in mind when you're doing that you want to make sure it matches nicely. Okay, we're going to use Tahitian Tide next. Ink that up. We haven't had a nice turquoise color in a long time. So I'm just kind of hovering over. This is meant to be a little whimsical, so it's not precise exactly. I could have come down just a little bit, but it's just a happy rainbow. Even the uniformity of the line isn't 100%, so you won't notice that it's not stamped 100% when you're done your rainbow. It's supposed to be whimsical. Then we're going to use Sweet Sorbet. Tap, tap, tap. And just kind of match this up. Oh, does that look cool? And then I probably could have left all the ink pads open because I'm going to need them one more time, but I don't want to stick my fingers in them. Okay, and then lastly, we're going to have Parakeet Party. And oh, it's so cute. I love my little rainbow. Okay, so, I'm going to leave that one open. We're going to go to Starry Sky now. Oops. I've got a Starry Sky thumb. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my Starry Sky thumb a little bit. It's still a little inky, but okay. Let's take this, and this is the greeting. It says, "You make me happy," and I'm going to stamp that right underneath my rainbow. So that way I have all 5 of the ink colors on here. Now I'm going to take my little tiny hearts, and I'm going to add some hearts. Make sure they're in the right direction. They're really itty bitty tiny hearts. So you don't want to use a big, you want to use a very light touch on there. And I just cleaned these off on the side. I am not going to use Starry Sky for my hearts. So then let's bring in Sweet Sorbet and ink, ink, ink. And we're going to put those ones right up there. I'm cleaning them off on my chamois. This is what my chamois looks like. It just takes the ink right off. My chamois doesn't look wonderful, but trust me, it's just a wonderful way to clean your stamps. Every time you use it, you just wet it. And then it's just really nice because it takes all of the ink right off. And then you're good to go for your next stamp. So I think I want these up here. Just adding just a few little touches. And then last we're going to have some Orchid Oasis. And then we'll just put these down here like that. All right. That is it for our stamping. So let's just move these off to the side so they're not in our way. Now we're going to work with the card base. And I just used a very plain card base. This is Thick Whisper White, and it measures 8.5 by 5.5, and then I scored in half at the 4.25 inch mark. You can kind of see it there. Fold it in half, grab your bone folder and smooth it down so it lays flat. And then we're going to take some in color paper. Now yesterday when I had all these strips cut up, and I was going to do the same pattern of these stripes on this card, but then I thought, oh no, this pattern right here, the flower pattern, would match so much better. But how I had already put Tombow on the back of this, so I just let it dry. And I'm going to use that as my stripe on this one. That's why it's turned over. It actually is already a little tacky from the glue I put on yesterday. I'm going to just add some more Tombow. So the best way I found to put these stripes on, these stripes measure 1 inch by 4 inches. So 1 inch by 4 inches, and they fit on here pretty evenly with a little tiny stripe in between. So the way I laid these out was like this. So I found the easiest way is to do outer, middle, and then these two here. So I'm just going to start off with this one. And I'll just put Tombow on here one more time. And I'll take this. And this is the new in color paper that will be coming out in just 1 week. The new patterns are just fabulous. It's a little 6x6 pack like this. So these ones have one stripe on this side, and then the back is the floral. And then this is another, these patterns are just fabulous. Look at this. I love that pattern. And then polka dots on the other side. I love polka dots too, so I'm going to use this paper a lot. And it comes in all the color groups, including the new ink colors. So we're just going to go along. Oh, we don't want to put that one on yet. We want to work on the 2 outer stripes first. And then I have a little trick for the inside one. Okay, so I'm going to use my centering ruler and a pencil, and I center it 2 3/4 and 2 3/4, or measure over 2 3/4 with your ruler. And I'm just going to make myself a little centering mark at the halfway point. And this is going to help me put in the middle stripe, which is my Tahitian Tide. I may start calling Tahitian Tide Tempting Turquoise. And if I do, you're going to have to reprimand me. Tempting Turquoise was an old color, old Stampin' Up! Color we had many years ago. And this is what that color reminds me of. So when I see Tahitian Tide, I just think Tempting Turquoise all over again. Okay, so now that I've got that middle one done, now I'm going to fit these in so that the stripes are even in between. So the original sketch, these were different sizes, but I wanted an easy button. I just wanted 1 inch by 4 inch stripes. Just kind of, it's uniform, it's easy. And I did change the middle dimensions a little bit too. Let's see. So this is actually 4 5/8 by 3 inches. So if you didn't have the Stitch Rectangles dies, you can just cut, oops, ah, there goes my ink pad. Just cut yourself a rectangle the same size. My elbow hit the ink pad and it knocked it right off its little stack. Too many things sitting on my desk right now. Okay, so don't forget to erase your little pencil mark. Okay. And then come in here and we'll just adhere this onto here, a little tombow. And I'm going to center it. Check all the 4 sides, and once I'm happy, then I can get it one more time and press down. Okay, so then I'm going to add a little bow. I tied this earlier. This is with Orchid Oasis. I just attached this with a little mini glue dot. This is our new metallic ribbon. It's really pretty, and you can pull it out, and as you can see, I kind of frayed out the edges. So that's kind of a fun thing to do with this ribbon. And when I tie with a metallic, it does tie a nice tight knot, but I recommend that you put a mini glue dot right behind that knot right away so it doesn't start slipping in different directions, because it just has a little tendency to want to slip a little bit. So if you keep it in place with a mini glue dot right away, you won't have that slippy thing happening, because it does tie so nicely. So that's why I already had a little mini glue dot situated on it. All right, and then I'm going to use some Glossy Dots assortment, and these colors are not exactly the in colors, but because they're glossy, they have that kind of sheen to them that allows them to masquerade and look like the in colors, even though they may not match exactly. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab a few of them, and let's see, let's do, I don't know, last time I did the little tiny dots, so maybe we'll do, shall we do the really big dots, or I have a feeling the big dots might look a little too large. Yeah, I'm going to go back with the little dots, the tiny dots, and just add them onto my card, maybe one here. There was a reason I chose the small dots the first time around. And this one I'm going to pop over here. All right. And there is the card, all complete. Isn't that pretty? And that is not a hard card at all, because those stripes go on there super quick. So I just wanted to show you, I'm not going to color this particular card, but let me just grab, since I'm doing well on time, let me grab the Happiness Abound stamp set and just show you a little trick on how I did this little cascade, because these are all individual blossoms. And I used masking to create that little cascade of blossoms. So, first of all, we'll need this ink pad here. Let's pop some things aside for a second. And we're going to need, got a whole bunch of little pieces in here that I've already used. Let's see, we're going to need this one and this one. And we're going to need this one and this one. Okay. So this is the same size as before, except it doesn't have the stitching on it. I did use a stitch one for this one. Oh, you know what? It's a little bit, let me make sure it's the exact same size. Oh, it's 4 3/8, not 4 5/8. I stand corrected. This measurement's 4 3/8. So let me cut that to the correct measurement to start, so that we're comparing apples to apples. 4 3/8 by 3 inches. I sometimes get 5/8 and 3/8 mixed up. Not in my mind, just when looking at them on the ruler, for some reason, my brain, that's like the odd measurement that tends to flip around more often. Okay, so to create the cascade, let's leave this in a spot where we can see it and you can kind of follow along. So I'm going to start off with this blossom right here. And I do need some blocks. Okay, so we'll start off with this blossom down here at the bottom. And this one is going to be on top. So we're going to put this one down here, right about here. Okay, and then we're going to take this little mask right here. This stamp set comes with matching dies. So if you buy the bundle, it comes with matching dies. And so I just took the die and I cut a piece out of Post-it note, making sure part of it was in the sticky area of the Post-it note. And so I'm just going to bring this down. I want to be able to see the black line of my flower that's stamped underneath, because the next flower is going here. So right here, I don't know if you can see on the edge, I've got a bit of the black line. So then when I come on here, this floral is going to kind of tuck under because I've got that part mask off. So that's how I just basically build this up like this. And yeah, just kind of turn it like that. So the key is you always want to see that black line, because with the Post-it note, it's going to just bring it right up to the edge nicely. And then we need to do this one more time, except this time we're going to use not this rose, which I could use this rose, but we've got this last rose which has a slightly different perspective. So I'm going to use this one for the top one. And I'll just add that right about here. Okay, so now you can see my little cascade of blooms. And then we want to add some leaves. Let me grab that. Leaves. So I'm going to use these little leaves right here. And then we just kind of do the same thing, except this time I'm going to be adding them on the bottom. So I want to see that black line down here at the bottom, because that's where I'm going to put my leaf. And this one doesn't have a lot of room, so we're just going to put a tiny little bit of the leaf tracking out from the bottom. So it just has a tiny little bit out there. And then this one can have a little more because there's a little more room. Okay, so we got that one. And then this one, just always make sure you can see that black line of the stamping. So you just have to position your Post-it note right, because the die cuts out on the outside of that line. So you're always going to have to position it if you use that for your mask. And then that one can go on there. And then finally we have to use the different mask. This is for this flower here. And then this one can come out of the top like that. So now I've got this beautiful cascade of roses. And if you want to, like, if you don't like coloring, you don't have to stamp these in black. You can stamp them in the in colors. So you could just have them have white insides instead. And this one, I mean, it is a very colorful card. So if you wanted very true to color roses, I can see this done as a beautiful wedding card. Use a very maybe a very tone-on-tone paper in the background here instead of these vivid colors. And then do all of these roses in similar coloring, whatever color you want. You could do like pink roses, purple roses, whatever you want. And then just color them kind of in the same color scheme, not changing the colors out like I did. And then this card that's very bright and vivid could turn into like just a beautiful wedding card instead. And you can see, I just love how these florals stamp. Aren't they pretty? So I just wanted to show you how to do that. Masking is not hard. It just takes a little effort to figure out a nice little pattern. So when I'm creating a pattern for myself, I usually start off with scrap paper so that I can practice the pattern and see how it will come together. This one was really easy because I just kind of did a chain kind of going up to the top. So I hope you like that. What do you think of the new in colors? Aren't they beautiful? I just love them, and I know you're going to want to get some of them too. I will be using them all year. I love that we have lots of embellishments and ribbons and stuff to match them, and the paper is just gorgeous. The Tea Boutique stamp set also has a lot of the in colors. Sorry, I should say the Tea Boutique Suite has a lot of in colors in it as well. That we've got some card bases in there, and the paper, the Tea Boutique paper, also has a lot of the in colors in it. So it will be really fun to use these new in colors with all of these new products. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what's going on. The supply list will be updated on my blog once next Tuesday hits. So you'll only see the Rainbow of Happiness bundles and the Stitch Rectangles dies out there right now because those are available right now. But the new in colors won't be available next week. And if you spend $50 with me this month, the month of April 2020, you will get a package of the brushed brass butterflies sent to you in May. And you'll get a full pack, not my partial pack. And then if you place an order with me of any size over $15, you will also get a free tutorial from me from my tutorial collections. Okay, I want to talk to you guys and see how you are today. The sky right here today is so gray, and woke up to a gray sky, and it's sometimes hard when the sky is so gray and the sun isn't shining. But hopefully later this week we'll have some sunshine and it will liven me up a little bit. So let's see who's here with us this morning. Good morning, Ellie from New York. And Amy from Washington State. Amy, I hope you're doing well today. Dee from Missouri, hello. Ellie says she likes the word persnickety. I like it too. I am a little persnickety. I love the details. I have to admit, I do, details matter to me. And so when I was creating those little labels, I just had to make them all uniform. And I know there's other people out there like me who need that. So that's who I am creating this for and sharing it with you so that you can also have that kind of control. Maybe there's another level of control that you need to have on those labels. Hey, if I haven't thought of something and you've thought of something to make them even better, just let me know because I'm all on top of that. Good morning, Marge from Connecticut. Good morning, Mary. Dee says, very cute. Their rainbows always just make me smile. Me too. They're so easy to stamp and you can just do whatever color. There's so many different color combinations with the rainbows too. People have been doing them in muted tones, just all different colors. Dee says, the cascading flowers are really pretty. I love this technique. Thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you, Dee. Good morning, Brenda. Haven't seen you in a while. And Brenda loves the new in colors, and she said the rose card is lovely. Well, thank you. I know the rose card after I created it. It is pretty. But I can see this as a card done in different ways, and that it can be a lovely rainbow card of roses, but it can also be a very elegant card as well. I just wanted to point it out because some people might find that a little jarring, because I don't think I've ever seen a Tahitian tied rose in that kind of turquoisey color, so that might be a little bit unnatural for some people. But I just wanted to showcase the colors and just have them kind of come down like that. Good morning, Karen. Oh, you missed most of the live. Well, you know what? You can watch the replay, and thank you for trying to join anyway. I actually started right on time today, so that's probably why you're probably jumping on usually when I'm a little bit delayed. And Karen said she loved the card. Well, guys, I hope you have a great week, and I will be back here on Friday. I will be doing a live on YouTube at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I hope you'll join me then. I'm not sure yet what I'm making, but it will either be a 3D or a fancy fold, and you'll have to be surprised. And then a project sheet for the Friday project will come out in my mail on Saturday, but you need to be on my email list for that. And I think I have a link down below to join my mailing list. I'll go back in afterwards and check to make sure that's there. So if you want to get on my mailing list to get project sheets, just let me know. All right. Thank you so much for being here this week, and I will hope to see you on Friday. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.